In the year 480 BC, when the sun set in flames over the blood-soaked plains of ancient Greece, destiny gathered its might at the narrow pass of Thermopylae. Across the lands, a tremor of fear and awe echoed at the name of Xerxes I, the great ruler of the vast Achaemenid Empire. From the edges of the known world, an army numbering over 300,000 surged forward, a tide of archers, cavalry, and the fabled immortals, each soldier honed in the brutal art of war. Yet amid this impending storm of death and despair, one light burned brighter, a beacon of honor, sacrifice, and defiance embodied by the Spartans, led by their legendary king Leonidas I. But as fate would have it, a presence not of this earth strode silently among the warriors, a being whose own legend would merge with the lore of Sparta. He was known only in hushed whispers as the Spartan Predator, a warrior from beyond the stars who had observed the art of mortal combat from afar. Struck by the indomitable spirit, discipline, and honor of the Spartan way of life, a culture forged in blood and tempered by valor, this enigmatic fighter chose to answer the call of mortal men. Eschewing the advanced weaponry of his own kind, he donned instead a mantle of ancient might, wielding only razor-sharp wrist blades and a curved predator blade. In his eyes burned a singular, unyielding purpose: to honor the code of warriors by fighting with only the purity of melee combat, a tribute to the Spartan creed of glory and sacrifice. The Persian host arrived like a tempest, an unyielding surge of conquest and ambition. Xerxes, with his divine mandate and an empire stretched from the Indus to the Nile, sought to bend Greece to his will. Mighty chariots, relentless legions, and the elite immortals advanced, their numbers eclipsing the hope of the few who dared oppose them. Yet among these few stood King Leonidas, a titan clad in bronze and resolve, leading 300 Spartan hoplites into the fray, determined to hold the pass at Thermopylae against impossible odds. In the twilight before the battle, as the Spartans honed their blades and steeled their hearts, the Spartan Predator watched from the shadows. Once a lone wanderer among the stars, a fierce warrior in countless cosmic arenas, he had traversed the void and arrived in this primordial age. He had long observed mortal cultures, but none had stirred him so deeply as the Spartans. Their relentless training, their unwavering loyalty to honor, and their readiness to embrace death in the name of freedom resonated with the warrior's own soul. In secret, he had followed their rituals, studied their battle formations, and learned of their code. To him, these primitive human soldiers were far from simple. They were the embodiment of raw courage and time-honored valor. When the battle erupted, the ground trembled under the march of the Persian horde. The Spartans, though few in number, formed an unbreakable phalanx, a living wall of spears and shields, their cries of defiance ringing against the clamor of 1,000 enemy voices. As Persian archers darkened the sky and immortals swept forward with lethal precision, the Spartan Predator emerged from the veil of dusk. Clad in armor reminiscent of Sparta's own, his every movement was poetry in violence, swift, silent, and merciless. In the heat of combat, when the Spartans found themselves nearly overwhelmed by a contingent of 10,000 immortal warriors, it was he who turned the tide. With each fluid motion, his wrist blades danced like death incarnate, felling foes with precision and a savage grace. His predator blade, honed to a razor's edge, found its mark time and again as he moved amidst the enemy ranks, a blur of disciplined fury. His method was pure: no lasers, no plasma cannons, only the raw clash of steel upon steel, for he believed that true honor lay in the honest artistry of close combat. Even as the mighty King Leonidas led his men with unwavering courage, the Spartan Predator became their spectral guardian, earning the names Fury of Sparta and Shadow of Sparta among those who witnessed his deeds. His presence was a revelation. When the Spartans were on the brink of collapse under the Persian onslaught, his cunning tactics and ferocious strength inspired them to rally. In moments when the enemy's numbers threatened to extinguish the Spartan flame, he carved a path through the ranks, clearing a corridor of hope amid despair. The battle raged with the ferocity of legends. Leonidas, his heart ablaze with patriotism and duty, fought as though Olympus itself had lent him strength. Yet, even heroes are not immune to fate. In a climactic moment that would forever be etched in the annals of history, King Leonidas fell, his sacrifice igniting the spirit of resistance that would echo through eternity. As the king's lifeblood mingled with the sacred earth of Greece, the Spartan predator continued his relentless assault, a living testament to the valor of men who dared defy destiny. When the sun finally set upon the shattered battlements of Thermopylae, Xerxes I was forced to retreat, for now. The Persian tide had not been vanquished entirely, and the empire's ambition still burned fierce. Yet the resolve of the Greek warriors had etched a new narrative into the scrolls of history. Amid the ruin and the silence that followed the clash of armies, the Spartans gathered to mourn their fallen and celebrate their hard-won honor. They erected shrines and recounted epic tales of bravery, of sacrifice, and of a mysterious warrior from beyond the stars. The name Fury of Sparta resonated deeply within their hearts, a being whose skill and honor had turned the tide at their darkest hour. Whispers spread among the soldiers and the elders alike that in the midst of their most desperate battle, a warrior from another realm had descended to join their ranks, fighting solely with the purity of melee combat, unburdened by the trappings of modern weaponry. They spoke in reverence of his selfless intervention, his uncanny ability to vanquish legions of immortals, and how his very presence had instilled in them the strength to stand against overwhelming odds. Then, as suddenly as he had appeared, the Spartan predator vanished into the mists of legend. Some say he returned to the stars from whence he came. Others believe he remains watching over Sparta, a silent guardian of the warrior spirit. His legacy, like the valor of King Leonidas, endured, a myth whispered in the quiet moments before battle, a beacon of hope, and a reminder that honor and sacrifice can transcend the bounds of time and even worlds. As Xerxes retreated, his dreams of complete domination, deferred but not defeated, the legend of the Spartan predator lived on in every Spartan heart. A legend of a warrior from another planet who fought with unmatched honor, a shadow that danced amidst fire and blood, and whose tale would forever inspire those who dare stand against tyranny.